everyone, this is Jeanette. I'd like to go ahead and teach you a little bit about some of the search capabilities that you have when using Google. I think these search capabilities will benefit you and your students tremendously because it really helps us to teach students how to focus in on what they're searching for rather than being distracted by all that they can find on the internet. So let's take a look at this. I have Google open. And I'm going to enter a topic that my students are working with. Let's see, how about Wisconsin corn? Now, the internet or the search results should pop up looking somewhat like this. Across the top, we have several options I'd like to point out to you. For the purpose of today, we're going to look at search tools. When I click search tools, I have three areas that I can use to narrow down my search. So let's look at time. I can look at Wisconsin corn that comes up with any of these past dates here. I can also customize my range. So I'm going to pretend that I'm working on a report that talks about corn during the first decade of 2000. Okay, and I'm going to hit go. Now it's changed my results. I can see that everything that's popping up, 2001, 2001, 2001, should be within the time frame of 2000 to 2010. Here's 2004, 2005. So I've narrowed down my searches. Let's take another look at how we can continue to narrow our searches down. Sorted by relevance. I can sort by relevance to what the search is or by date. I think I'm going to hit date. All right, you can see my date is now 2010, 9, and so on back. Let's look at our results. Do I want to view all results? Pages that I visited, pages that I've not visited, a reading level, or verbatim. Let's go ahead and click on reading level. Now I can tell that what's on this page, 50% of the responses are basic reading level, 50% are intermediate, and 0 are advanced. And I will tell you, from a teacher perspective, this is not exactly how we see it in the classroom. Basic is still a pretty hard reading level for most students. So I'm going to click on basic. Now, supposedly all of the websites that I'm looking at here were between the dates of 2000 to 2010. They are sorted by date. They're at a basic reading level. So what I've just done is I have narrowed down the websites that my students will be looking at. I've tremendously narrowed it down. The chances are the information they're pulling up, they'll be more likely to read. It will be relevant to the time frame that I've given to them. Okay, so there we go. That's how you use the search tools. Let's look back up here at this menu we have up here. I also have more, and I can go ahead and have the students look just for, say, videos. And look at this. Now I'm looking at videos from the same time frame. Let's look at quality, any quality or high quality. I'm going to stay with any. Here's all videos. I can also narrow it down to just closed captioned videos. I'm going to leave it at all. Here's my source. I can narrow this down to any source, YouTube, and any of these other things that are available on here. I'm going to go ahead and narrow it down just to, say, YouTube. Okay, so now I've changed all of my options for searching here. All right, let's take another look at what else we can do. When I hit more, I can look for books. All of these books should be pulling up in the same time frame. I have these drop downs that give me even more power. And this is why people start to call this power searching. So I can have books that have a preview available, or free books, free ebooks, Google ebooks, right? I'm going to leave it on any. Let's look at this one, any document. I can look for books. I can also narrow it down to magazines. Let's try magazines. Look at that. I just went from thousands of websites when I first entered to narrowing it down to just one. I think that is pretty cool. I am going to go ahead and go back to books. We can again sort by our dates or by relevance. All right, let's take a look up here at more one more time. Flights, I'm not going to be playing around with flights. I don't think I have to worry about corn flights. And apps. All right. So we can also go up here into news. And somewhere when I'm pulling up news, within this time frame, I'm still on that subject of Wisconsin corn. I can have all news, or I can narrow it down to blogs. I can hide or show duplicates of the same story. And again, look at the power you're giving your students and yourself to zone in and find exactly what you're looking for without being distracted out there on Google. Okay. Let's see what else I have. I can go up to images. And there we go. There's images of corn. Let's look at our tools. We can have image sizes, super important, especially if those kiddos are building websites and working in websites. I can narrow down by color. If I would like the color to be, say, mostly green, it's going to change so that the dominant color in there is green. I have a type. I might want clip art, animated, a face. I'm not sure how that would work with corn. Let's go to photo. Let's try clip art. Okay, so you can see the power of using this. These were supposedly put on here in this time frame. Usage rights. I can find something labeled for reuse, non-commercial reuse. Okay, so I'm learning how to use things without plagiarizing or taking things that I'm not entitled to use. This would also be a great conversation for those kiddos. More tools. I can go back to showing all sizes or all results. Okay, so again, you're learning the power of Google search, right? Let's take a look at the last one. This is shopping. And this is going to bring up shopping, anything having to do with corn or Wisconsin. So you can see we got a little off topic here because now we're looking at the cornhole toss game and the Wisconsin corn overalls and things like that. But this is going to work exactly the same for just about anything you do. And later you'll be looking at an actual sample that I had students do when they were shopping for different items, and I had girls shopping for nail polish. So let's look over here at all these options we have. We can change our location. Kids love this. This is by default on my computer pulling up Madison, but kids love to go shopping where they don't live. It totally motivates them. So we could actually change this if we wanted to New York or Paris or just about any place. So when kids are doing this, I mean, right now, if we were researching corn in Wisconsin, I'd need to keep it at least in Wisconsin. But it is fun. Kids do get a kick out of going shopping someplace where they've never been. So I can look at stores or items that are available nearby or that are new. I just simply click a box, and it's going to look for items that are nearby in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm going to take that one off. So I can also narrow down price ranges. Am I looking for something within these price ranges? And I can also customize it. Categories will appear. The category for Wisconsin corn is lawn games, books, snack foods, and vintage advertisements. And it will also tell you some of the companies that are selling corn items somewhere near Madison, Wisconsin. I can also click more, and it will pull up just a vast list of other locations where you can shop. So this is great to get these kiddos motivated and out there shopping. It gives them a sense of using real money, of seeing what's going on, of comparison shopping. This is, I think, a fantastic option here on the web. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here, and I'm going to ask that you practice your power searching, that you go in and you power search using the tools that we talked about today. I'm just going to go back here so that you go ahead and go into search tools and you begin playing in search tools. I think it's the easiest place to play because it's what begins to give you the menu options across the top. And then go ahead and work your way backwards through playing with advanced power searching. All right, have a good day. I'll see you online.